Welcome to Bunker Gaming. So today I want to talk about space and combat simulators. This is an interest I've had for many years. It started out in the early 80s playing Elite. Elite was a fun game, being able to fly between stations, trading commodities, hunting pirates, and trying to work out the best trade routes. And I spent countless hours playing this game. I remember getting home from school, popping in the floppy disk, starting up the game, and having a great amount of fun and enjoyment being working out what was the best way to upgrade my ship, upgrade my weapons. This soon progressed into other games as well, and this is where the Wing Commander series came in. This is very innovative for its time. Graphics were updated. We moved away from this very blocky type graphics into a more detailed graphics as such. The storyline was very linear, but the game was very fun because the fact is you got to choose different ships and you got to tailor what you wanted to do for each mission. And the series went on for quite a while. It moved into a bit more open world with Privateer, but that's where the series pretty much ended after that point in time. The last space game that I know which was more open world was Freelancer. Freelancer was a very open world, and this is made by Chris Roberts, the Wing Commander. Well, it was initiated by by Chris, and it was more open world. It had a storyline, but it wasn't so linear like the other games, and it gave you the flexibility to be able to travel around, trade, and it was a great way to open up the universe to people. It was supposed to have a multiplayer component of it, but that never got implemented. But unfortunately, after Freelancer, the interest in the space simulator combat games sort of died off. And sort of similar to the universe, sort of just drifted off into the dark and nothing ever happened. But the space simulators didn't want to die off. With David Bradburn and Chris Roberts both starting up crowdfunding to get their games up and running again and create new versions of the games. And both of these have come out in their iterations of Elite Dangerous, which is a fantastic game that follows, still has a lot of the traditional Elite components to it, but has been updated and also follows a very exacting sort of simulation to how the universe is actually formed. And I can see that this game is going to be fantastic. Also, Star Citizen, this is going to be have incredible breadth and depth, and it's done in a more modular system. They've been slowly adding on the modules to expand the game out. And I'm both interested in playing both of these games. At the moment I haven't had an opportunity, but I will in the future. But I wanted to talk about one particular game here, one that caught my eye at E3, and that was No Man's Skies. When Hello Games and Sean Murray walked onto the stage and talked about this game, I think a lot of us were very apprehensive. They showed us the demo of the game, and I think a lot of us looked at it and thought, this is a fantastic trailer of the game. We watched some person step into a starship, take off into space, then fly along, attack a few ships, and then fly down to another planet. I think I, like myself, thought this is great. But, you know, this is a dream of all the people who've ever played these space simulators, to actually have a game that flies into space and you can drop back down to a planet. And I think I, like a lot of others, thought, yes, we'd love to be like that. But when we were told this is actual gameplay footage, I think the excitement was beyond capacity, because it was just incredible to see that a game could be like this. And this is a game that I'm extremely excited about and I want to cover a lot. So one thing that really interests me about No Man's Sky is the way they're addressing the way the universe is going to be created through this procedurally generated process. It's going to have millions and millions of variations, and it's going to give us some really interesting ways the planets look, the animals, and also the plant life on them. And you can all discover all of that and add it to the database as such, so other players can come across and see that planet and know that other people have explored it. And I like this exploration type gameplay. It's something that's very much interests me, and it allows people to be able to go out and find their own ways. There is going to be an enemy as such in that universe, but I don't think it's going to be the main story-driven line part of the story. It's about exploration and going out there and discovering these interesting things. But the great thing is too, they also know that there's has to be a story-driven component of it, and they have added that by putting this mysterious black hole at the center of the galaxy, and the end game is to try and get to the center of the galaxy. Now, we do not know at the moment what lies there or what will be shown to us once we get there, but it's at least a way of keeping players interested and moving them towards a goal. While some people just may never ever get there and just create trade routes and explore, others will be just rushing to get to the center of the galaxy to see what's there and see what they can open up or discover at least. And I like the way that they're doing it sort of multiplayer, but it's not really multiplayer. It's not about trying to build this, clans, factions and so forth like that. They're just trying to build an exploration type game where you go out and explore and upgrade things along the way. Now, the way they're approaching the upgrading of starships is a little bit different to the traditional way. Instead of upgrading your current ship, you basically sell it and buy a new ship, and that allows you to then get stronger shields, stronger warp drives, and so forth like that. I wonder how they're going to approach the customization of side of things, because I know that a lot of players have become accustomed to having a great deal of customization in their games these days. So if they don't give you that customization, it may detract from the game. The other question I have is, if you don't want to go to the end game, is there a way to set yourself up and explore or even build things on particular planets so that it can become something of interest for you or something personal to yourself? That's another thing, because I accustomed this to a more like a space version of Minecraft. So one thing I really enjoy that the way that Hello Games have addressed the game is they've kept that air of mystery about the game. They've kept quiet about a lot of things, and that's, from my perspective, something really good. Because I feel that game developers these days are too quick to hand over information about their games, and will be give way too much about what actually is happening within the game, instead of giving the player an opportunity to go and discover things. And I think that's what's missing from games these days, this the discovery process. So I'm really looking forward towards this game. I'm going to be covering this quite a bit on the channel. I know it's coming out on PlayStation 4 and PC. I'm pretty sure it's coming out on PlayStation 4, so I'll be covering that, and then I'll progress into the PC version as we get there. So I want to say thank you very much for taking the time. Keep an eye out for No Man's Skies, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you.